video, we're going to bring in some more external parts into our video, but this time the external parts have been created by the supplier. So we're going to bring the Swerve modules in and joint them into our frame to end up with this. So this is where we're currently at with our frame that's been jointed, and this is where we're going to get to. By the end of this, we're going to bring these Swerve modules in and join them into the frame. So I'm going to click on my 9 dots up here to get my data panel to display. So you need to open this, obviously, to get to this point. And I'm going to go into the FRC folder here from the home level. So go all the way up to the house and then home level, making sure you're in the right team up here. Then I'm going to go into commercial parts. And then I'm looking for Swerve drive specialists. And then I want this SDS for Swerve Drive Specialist Mark IV Swerve module. So I'm going to drag that and drop that into my design. It's going to come in the middle, and it's already in the right orientation. So what I might do, I'm just not quite sure which holes it lines up with here. So I'm going to just flip this around into top view, move my view over, and then just line this up approximately here, like that. Okay, so now I know that it's got this hole here has to line up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes in from the corner. So as you can see, we thought it was lined up there, but it still hadn't been lined up vertically. But I'm going to joint that into place anyway, now that I know where it's going to go. So I'll click OK to bring that in. Now, the first piece we brought in was the one that was grounded to parent. After we bring any more pieces in, they don't ground to parent. We don't want this one grounded because we want to be able to move it and put it into place. So I'm going to click OK to bring that in there. Now, to join, again, I'll just give you another quick look at the top of that. Need to join this hole here with the hole in the piece that's underneath it. So what we can do is pull this view around until we can see this hole here. So we're going to use J, which is the shortcut key for joint. I'm going to go in here and hover over this face so that I can lock in my joint origins to only select on that face, hold down the control key, and then go in there and grab the center of that circle. So I've got the bottom of the center of that circle. Now I'm going to zoom out a bit, pull this view around, and then I'm going to zoom in on here, and I wanted the 5th circle along. So I'm going to again hover over the face, hold control to lock it in so I can only select things on this face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Click there. That's going to bring that plate down, bring it into place. It looks like it's left the rest of the Swerve module behind, but as soon as we click OK, all of that stuff comes with it. So I can just click OK there, and then that's now jointed that into place. And if we've done that correctly, we should be able to see a nice clean hole down through those things there and all the way down, through there. So that's actually been jointed perfectly into position. And basically we just now need to repeat that process for the other 3 Swerve modules over in the corner. So insert the Swerve module into my design, either by dragging or by clicking insert. I now want one that's turned by 90 degrees. So I'm going to turn it here 90 degrees, again checking that this says 90, then go OK. And now I want to join this hole, the bottom side of that hole there, with a hole that's 5 holes in down there. So J for joint, pull the view around using Shift and the center scroll wheel so I can zoom in there and grab that joint origin there. Again, if I try and get in there, sometimes you'll get the wrong thing, so it's just safer to hold control and then select the joint origin that you want to select. Zoom out, pan around, pan over, hover over the face, hold control to lock it into that face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Click there. That should bring the part in. Looks like it's coming in the right spot. Click OK, and that brings the rest of the Swerve module in. That's 2 modules in. And basically we continue to that process for the other 2 modules. I'll show you this time that you don't actually have to rotate this first. I can rotate it after it's been jointed. So for instance, if I just leave that in that orientation and then go OK, and now I want to join the bottom of that circle there to the 5th hole along over there. So J for joint, pull around onto the bottom of the screen, hover over the face, hold Control or Command on a Mac, select that piece there, zoom back out, change the view around. I'm going to hide this and I'll just pull this across. And now I need to work out where the 5th hole would be. There's one there, there would be one there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, hover over the face, hold Control, click there. And that's brought that piece in, but you can see that it's out of line. But we can actually move this piece around, and it looks like I've selected the wrong hole to make that work. Yes, I have. I needed to select the second joint origin, needed to be 5 holes along over there. But that's all right, because that's this selection here. I can actually just rechange that. I can say I don't want to snap to where I chose on component 2. I'm going to clear that there, and now I'm going to count 5 holes along here. Again, hovering over the face, hold Control, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring that part in. Okay, now when I rotate that part around, I should be able to get that to line up where I want it. There. And when I click OK on the rest of that joint, the rest of the Swerve module comes over. So it is sometimes easier in your head to orientate the piece as you bring it in and then bring it over, and you wouldn't have had that issue that I just had there. But you don't have to. If you know where something is lining up to, you can move it in the jointing process. I'll bring this last one in, drag it over. I'm going to do the easy way. So I'm going to turn this around until it's facing the right way. So that's 180 degrees of rotation. Click OK to finish inserting the part. And now I'll choose that hole there and 5 holes in there. So pull this around upside down so I can see this hole. Zoom in here, J for joint, hover over this face, hold Control, grab that bottom joint, bottom of the circle there, pull this back around into 3D view, hover over this face, hold Control, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring that part in. It's coming in the correct orientation, in the correct position. Click OK. Brings the rest of the Swerve module over. And now we have brought in our Swerve modules into our design. So now you can see our design is made up of the 4 pieces of RHS and then the 4 Swerve modules that have been imported. So we need to now save this, and I'm going to save it as a new name. So I'm going to go to my File menu, choose Save As, and that's where I'm going to store it, but you'll store it in your own user folder inside your team folder. And I'm going to call this 27-inch frame with Swerve modules. Click Save. And now that I've got the base of my robot starting to come together. So that's the end of this video. In future videos, we'll put some bolts in here. We'll CAD them into place, and we'll start to draw a belly pan and CAD a belly pan in that we can manufacture ourselves. But that's all we're having for now on this video.